out here for these guys today too, which is pretty cool to see. On the right side of the map, in the red from the Team Slayers, he is down 1 game. But can he come back? Can he tie up the series? It is.
Slayers, MMA.
The no Terran voice this time. He's like, well, you lost that last game to Cheese. Better do better this time. That's what the Terran voice would say this time. And on the left side of the map, 1 game up. If he could win this match, pretty big upset. He is.
I like the little echo afterwards.
Yeah.
The Oz doing his usual trademark. Check out those pictures. Those are pretty
Someone
cool.
just punched that Zeld in the stomach or something?
I wasn't sure if the one at the top right was a Colossus or a Stalker, though.
I don't know.
Oz doing his trademark 11 gate here. Loves to put that 11 gate out because it allows him to put pressure on with that very first Zealot.
Yeah. Yep. Well, he usually does 2 Zelts in a row, if I remember right. Sends them both over to put some pressure on. And yeah, speaking from the Terran perspective, if you're not ready for that, you are going to definitely lose a couple SCVs at least.
If you went Command Center first, you were in trouble for sure. It's not a map for Command Center first that we're seeing here,
No.
but
Well,
you do see it every now and then, but it's rare. But even so, there's no ramp on this map, so it allows you to put a little bit of pressure on it quite easily.
Well, you know, in light of that, I actually am a little bit surprised that Oz is going to go through with this because it's a map that's so easily wallable. I don't know if wallable is a word, but I invented it right now. Where, oh, he's not nice. Is he gonna? Well, we'll see if he does the.
Getting that quicker core though, with that early gateway allows him to have warp gate research out faster and also have that Stalker out much earlier to put pressure on. And if you don't have a bunker on this map, it's like Tal'Darim Altar. When the Stalker comes in because it has better range on the Marine, you could just bully the Marine like crazy.
Yep.
Is going to make that Zealot.
Probably not going to do 2 Zealots like we were talking about earlier.
And MMA not taking gas, so he is going to be going for a 1 Rax expand. The Command Center will go down at the natural. There's no bunker just yet, though.
And there are both the Stalker and the Warp Gate Research Chrono boosted there.
I'd like to see Oz send his Zealot to the base of MMA now to stop that bunker from coming up instead of chasing this SCV, because the SCV, or rather the Stalker, runs much faster than the Zealot, so sending the Zealot ahead allow that Stalker to catch up as well.
Yeah.
Ironically, the SCV going back towards home, so the Zealot now going in the proper direction.
Well, at least he's heading there eventually, you know? I mean, Zealots aren't known for their sense of direction, really.
That's very true, man.
They're Zealots. They just kind of go wherever they're told, you know?
And 2 more gateways going down. We're going to see a pressure build here from Oz. Remember, his warp gate research is much further along than normal.
Well, this is a good decision, too, because, you know, he will have a good idea. If he doesn't know already, he'll know soon that his opponent did go for the gasless expand, and that's definitely a build where you can put a little bit more pressure on your opponent.
Pylon going up here, and the SCV does not see the additional gateways.
Ooh.
4th gateway going down. He's going to 4 gate here. The Pylon is going. The warp gate research is almost done.
I don't know if MMA can survive this, so 1 bunker is not enough on a big ramp like that.
But he does start a 2nd bunker. He knows something is up.
Yeah.
Did not see the additional gateways, but he is sensing it, man.
He's got that star sense. The question is, did he sense it in time?
Well, the 2nd bunker is almost complete. Warp gate research going to finish around the same time. Warp gates are done. If he warps in the first 4 Stalkers and targets down that bunker, he might be able to do this. There's a 2nd Pylon going down. He may be able to warp Zealots around behind once he gets vision, but looks like he's going to warp Stalkers in first here.
Yeah, this is going to be pretty close. Here comes a lot of Stalkers here.
I like this. I think he's just going to run past towards the 2nd Pylon where he can warp in more units on the high ground.
He's stutter stepping. I don't know. I mean, he was trying to take out those SCVs, but he did take a lot of extra damage on his Stalkers because of that. So now he's basically going to be like, all right, MMA, you have to come out and get me.
But with that 2nd Pylon, he is going to be able to warp in Zealot to help deal with these SCVs. Yep. Does he have vision? No, he does not. Just barely getting vision here. Having to take a lot of damage as a result.
Running those Stalkers away. Here come the Zealots right now. Marines ducking back to the bunkers as fast as they can. But they need to be out here, man. They need to deal with the Stalkers. This is quite the micro battle we've got going on right now.
Really impressive micro by MMA. I think MMA going to be able to hold this off. He's taking out the final Zealots now. The Stalkers with nowhere to run.
You know, he's lost a lot of SCVs, but that's actually okay because Oz hasn't made a lot of probes yet himself. So really, this is just evening things up a little bit.
Stalkers targeting down some of these Marines, getting a decent amount of them. Another Stalker warping, and I don't know actually, Doa.
I was gonna say, I think Oz might be overcommitting to this just a little bit here.
Well, we're gonna see. Is he gonna be able to warp in more units? Can he keep vision? No.
No. All right. Well,
loses vision, and that is going to be the end of this rush. very well may be the end of this game.
Well, you know, he did kill a lot of SCVs. The only difference is MMA has 2 command centers. He's got a lot of mules. He's got the ability to make workers a lot faster than Oz does. Oz is going to go for it, though. He's still got Chrono Boost. He can get a lot of workers out, but I don't know. He's going to be way behind now at this point.
Oh, he is absolutely behind at this point. Reactors being dropped down, as well as tech labs for MMA. I should say 2 tech labs in a reactor. He's got 3 barracks. It's going to allow him to crank out tons of units, put pressure on Oz, and Oz in a terrible position from here.
Yeah, this is going to be very, very difficult for Oz to stop when MMA finally does decide to move out. He might decide to do it earlier, or he might decide to wait until his first 2 medevacs comes out, too. We'll have to see kind of what the plan is there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Stim concussive shells on the way at those tech labs, and that stim, when that stim finishes, it's just going to give him a sick timing to just run up the ramp basically and kill Oz. He may even push out before then, since he still has a decent amount of units. He knows Oz either has a lot of units or not a Nexus, so
yeah, well, he'll
or
probably
a Nexus or a lot of units rather.
I think you hit it on the head, right, where he's going to try to time it out with Stim. That's the common thing. If you want to do an earlier push when you get your 3 barracks up after you do this type of expand, usually you want to time out around Stim. We see a lot of players skip it, and we also see a lot of players get a Ghost Academy as well, like MMA is doing right now. And he's going to go in, see the units, and yeah, he's going to be like, yep, Ghost Academy was definitely the right choice. He'll be able to EMP all those sentries. If Oz isn't careful, then that'll be the end of the game right there.
Yeah, he's going to push out. Stim's about halfway done.
Yeah.
He's going to hit before Stim most likely, but he's just going to bait out some force fields, and then when Stim finishes, go in for the kill. And those ghosts are going to be able to follow up here if this first attack doesn't really do a whole lot. And Oz is kind of stuck in checkmate at this point.
Yeah, I mean, if you notice, the ghosts are actually timed out to go right with Stim, actually. Yeah. So this was kind of intentional all along. He's also getting an engineering bay as well. He wants to get at least 1 turret up just to stay safe against the possibility of some DT craziness or something. It doesn't happen very often, but it is a possibility.
This guy used to be called Twilight Boyu for a reason.
Exactly, yeah.
Speaking of Twilight, the Twilight Council is about 2/3 done for Oz. He's got his sentries pre-split here to help deal with EMPs, but, you know, I just don't know if he's going to have enough here.
Well, Oz is doing absolutely everything he can. I mean, he's definitely playing this the best he can given the situation.
Look at this. Combat shields and Stim finishing at the exact same second, and I mean exact same.
Wow.
And these units are going to come up here. He's going to be able to scan. Does he have a scan save? No, does not have any scan save, so he's not going to be able to scan to EMP. Oh, the sentries all clump up, but
not the best EMP.
Only hitting 1, and that sentry still has enough energy to force field afterwards. So
yeah, he's going to just turn around and go home at this point. He's like, all right, Oz is actually too good to fall for something like that. He's not going to have his sentries clumped up. And look at that, a Dark Shrine on the way for Oz. So indeed, he will set it up, but MMA is already ready. He's already got turrets up at his natural. He knows exactly who he's playing against.
I think the Dark Shrine, he made the Dark Shrine before he saw the Ghost. I think it was kind of his way of saying, well, I want to either take a third or move out to do some pressure here, and I need something to deal with drops, potentially if he went for medevacs instead of Ghosts. So it was kind of a defensive measure more than an offensive measure. That probe desperately trying to get away.
That one Marine, he did a lot of drugs to kill that probe. Was it worth it, Marine? That's the question I have for him. We'll find out in like 5 years. Let's see. You need those posters that say like the faces of Stim Pack or something. It's like Marines, but they all look the same, only their muscles are really big and they're crazy. They run really fast. They're all blurry in the picture because they could get a good shot of it.
Ooh, cancels the Dark Shrine. Probably starts,
okay.
Templar Archives. Makes sense. Right now for upgrades, Oz is just getting +1 armor. The +1 weapons of MMA's bio is going to be done much before that. That has not started charge yet. Does have blink. Decent amount of stalkers to deter drops as well.
Yeah, well, you can see him spending the resources on that +1 armor instead of something like Blink 2 just because he knows that he's behind. You know, he needs to do everything he can to make what few units he has more durable, you know?
Yeah, and so, I think he's almost a little bit too concerned about drops, and that's why he canceled his Dark Strain. He was like, I don't actually need this. Because right now, MMA's first 2 dropships are coming out. He does have the ability to lift up this command center and take a 3rd base right now, whereas Oz just cannot attack this location. He can't take his own 3rd. He just has too few units, and that's kind of the disadvantage he's going to have to play the rest of this game with after that 4-gate.
Yeah. Now, if MMA is potentially too hesitant, you know, Oz could come back. If it's a max versus max situation, then obviously the control is the only thing that really matters. but we'll see. Oh,
Marauders stimming here. Stalkers.
Great Marauders.
Ooh, that was a close call. The Stalkers almost decided to engage there. Do blink away.
I love the poise by MMA, though, not stimming in that situation. You would see so many other Terrans just like stim and go for it.
Yeah, he only
Waste
stemmed
all that
3
health.
Marauders forward, and, you know, that's perfectly fine. Doing the same thing just again here. Stimming just a few units forward. He's got enough medevacs to heal those up. It's okay.
Yep.
Oz doing as much damage as he can, then blinking away. He has his units coming over to
on the other side.
Yeah, but that planetary is almost finished. Will it finish in time?
I don't know. Even if he does attack it, MMA is going to be able to get back and defend. No problem. Looks like a couple SCVs might die here.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Pulling away the injured one.
And Oz sending his Blink Stalkers over again. Great multitasking here. He's not really going to be able to do a whole lot with these, but might as well poke with them, force another stim.
Yeah, he's doing awesome. I mean, he's harassing as much as he can.
But with this sensor tower completing now, MMA can see both sides of both bridges.
Yep.
Even a factory there to give him some extra vision. So MMA is now in the know about everything that Oz is doing. Storm is about a third of the way done here.
I'm really glad to see Terran players using sensor towers in more matchups than just TBT now. It's such a useful building.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. Looks like Oz.
Takes out the
knifing
sensor tower.
Oh, he's going to go for it.
Yeah, I don't agree with this choice at all. Way too many EMPs landing. He does force a ton of stimming.
Yeah,
he's going to
it's
fight
a little
here.
bit risky. I don't know, Oz, man. I don't know if this is the right decision, but he's doing really well so far.
I think there's just too many units.
Yeah,
GG.
Never mind.
MMA dropping the mules to tell him who's boss.
That's right.
And MMA ties it up 1-1.
Yeah. Slayer's MMA. Definitely not out. Wow.
Definitely not.
Yeah. So, we've got ourselves a tie series here.
Oz going for 2 all-in builds in a row. Definitely trying to get into MMA's head a little bit. Almost succeeding this time. If he had the ability to warp in one more round of units, I think he might have actually been able to win that fight.
Yeah, that's what, at the end it seemed like it was kind of close, but with the planetary fortress there especially, it was just not the best place to engage.
Yeah, that too, but I meant when he engaged at the 4 gate.
Oh.
There was that one moment where like he microed back and there were very few Marines. And I was like, is he going to warp in a few more units? And he tried to keep the Stalker alive, but he didn't have vision. He didn't have warp gate. Warp gates were still on cooldown. He just couldn't do it. And then he lost from there. I mean, of course, he tried to play from behind, and he did as well as anyone could have, really.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's 1-1. Basically, we're down to a best of 3 now.
I guess that means next game, MMA is going to go for a Marine Tank Banshee build, because right now we're 1-1. I guess what would the next logical step be?
We need to make it 1-1-1.
Oh, no, he's not going to do that, because the next map is Calm Before the Storm.
Yeah, not the best map for that.
We should see perhaps our most exciting game of this series on this map.
This map's been making a lot of good games, but we're going to have to take a 5-minute break. First, guys, don't go anywhere. Come back for more GSL action here in Code S.